All right, everyone, welcome to another special episode of Smile on Camera, hosted by Lourenzo Smith. Episode 8. Today we have a special guest friend of the show, Mazen. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and the viewers.
Sir, what they do out there, amazing. Let's go with it.
Tell everyone where you're from, how you got into music, your upbringing, if you can get into that.
Absolutely, man. I grew up in Lakeland, Florida, small town outside of Orlando, Tampa. I kind of always knew that I wanted to be in music of some sort, some type of entertainer, something like that, you know? And when I was like 9 years old, I discovered hip hop. And this kind of started off like, like any aspiring young artist who's just kind of trying to figure out the genre and like where they fit in, just kind of, writing with my school friends and freestyling in the hallways or in lunchrooms. And then that kind of transitioned into an actual passion. I came up battle rapping when I was super young. I was rapping up until I was like, battle rapping up until I was like 14, 15. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I want to actually start recording. Mm-hmm. So I got with a small creative collective in my hometown. And it was like about like 4 or 5 of us. We had this little rap group, and that's really when I started recording on the actual, on wax and shit. Okay. And yeah, man, it transitioned into kind of what I'm doing now. But that's the early stages.
Were you into production then, or is it just more of just like writing?
Yeah, well, back in the day, you couldn't really you couldn't find beats on YouTube, right? So I'm talking about like 2000, and this is like 2000 and 2003, 2002, some shit like that. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't really find beats on YouTube. I don't think YouTube existed. You know what I'm saying? So I was making my own beat on FL, and I was I had the demo version too, so I couldn't save none of my beats, right? So pretty much what I do is I would like if anybody knows how to use FL, you basically have these tracks that you can enable and disable. Right, so I would basically like enable them and disable them to create the pattern of the beat. You know what I'm saying? So I did that, and I would kind of record on I had a little bullshit, headset computer, wrapped a sock around it, and I would record with the computer recorder. I don't know if anybody remembers like Windows back in the day. There was a computer recorder that you could record. Hell yeah. I'll bring it shit super close to the speakers, and then just kind of jump on the speaker and just go in. You know what I'm saying? And I'd have to one take the whole song. I'm talking about the hook and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'd take my little songs, put them up on MySpace, and then eventually my dogs from this from the other side of town reached out to me on MySpace. They're like, "Yo, you're kind of dope. You just sound like shit," and then they brought me in this. But that was like the early production phases, and then when I found out about like SoundClick, I stopped producing for a while, and just as of recent, I started producing again, just so I could have more control of my my creativity. So
amazing. So yeah, I remember when we first linked up. When I pulled up, you were producing at the crib. Do you like to sample more, or are you more just like live instrumentation, or like the normal like trap beats that everyone's making? What's your like style?
It depends on the vibe. Honestly, it depends on the vibe because some days I feel like I want to go real soulful with it, so I'll sample. You know what I'm saying? Or some days I really want to just hear. I want to hear something different, so I'll probably play some of the music. It depends. Sampling is always easier. Playing music is always a bit more challenging. Yeah. So sometimes I wanna take on that challenge, and sometimes I'm just trying to get a quick idea out. So it depends.
Are you musically trained, or did you grow up in like church choir like most folks?
Nah, not at all. Got no like musical influence in my family whatsoever. I'm kind of like the first one, so yeah, it's been I've had to do a lot of research on my own. You know what I'm saying? When I talk to my homies that grew up in the church, and grew up with parents as musicians and all this stuff, like it's incredible because you could tell that they have this natural knack for music and just rhythm and things like that I just kind of had to figure out a bit differently. So
who were some of your inspirations growing up? as a like an artist?
Well, I always was into hip hop, so I'd always listen to like whatever was on the radio. So like, you know, you're talking about 2002, 2003, it was like Nelly, Luda, Eminem, you know what I'm saying? And then 50 Cent drop, and then like the whole world stopped, right? That's the album that Get Rich or Die Trying was the album. You know, Get Rich or Die Trying was the album that I feel made me like decide that I actually want to become like
An
a
artist.
professional rapper. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Exactly. And so I was initially like a fan of his to begin with, but I still am and have always been like such a nerd to where like I love to read like the credits in the album and see like who are they signed to, like where was this recorded at, who produced what, who wrote what. So I'd open up the albums and I would go through the shit, and then I would learn about like certain producers or and that just kind of so like for example like 50 Cent was like beefing with Nas, right? So I'm like, who's Nas? Like literally, it's a true story. I'm like, who's Nas?
Yeah.
So I look up Nas and I'm like, oh, this is dope. And I listen to Illmatic and I'm like instantly drawn in. It's one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. I don't know if you can see, I got it up on my wall right there.
I see that.
But I'm like, who's Nas, right? So then I'll look into like his catalog and I'll see like production by like Q-Tip. And then I'll go dig into Q-Tip's catalog and I'm like, oh shit, Tribe and all the other shit that Q-Tip's produced. And then I'll see, oh, Pete Rock. And I'll learn about like Pete Rock and CL Smooth and like that whole catalog. So honestly, bro, like that's just kind of like the influences kind of start there and it's just trickled on. But I want to say like 50 was the initial person that kind of got me rapping. And I think in terms of just like artists, I mean, I like it spans all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I'm a down south kid, but I grew up loving East Coast hip hop. So I've kind of been drawn to a lot of different artists from 50 to Wayne to Nas to Jay to you know what I'm saying to Three Stacks and so on and so forth. You feel me?
Yeah, when I listen to your music, definitely it's like a mix of like Bus, De La Soul, Q-Tip, that like mix of like you can hear like the jazzy elements, but it's still like old school boom bap rap.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. I try. I think that's essentially what makes up everybody's like musical DNA. It's like you kind of take a little bit from everybody, and that's just kind of what it is. So.
What do you listen to now? Like, did you get a chance to listen to that new Cudi?
Bro, I haven't. I haven't. I'm slacking because he's honestly like one of my favorite artists ever. And the first Man of the Moon is like one of my favorite go-to albums. It's like honestly one of the best albums to work out to.
Oh yeah,
it has such a great progression. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like I'll throw that shit on and just go for a run or whatever. But,
hey man, you missing out.
I haven't. I listen to it. What am I listening to now, man? I'm going back to a lot of oldies, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I woke up this morning and I put on like Best of My Love and shit. Like that's just kind of what I've been in the mood for as of late. But might change.
Yeah, I know you personally love R&B bag. You're a big R&B blasting in the car.
I'll be in the whip going like, listen, if anybody knows me, they know like early 2000s is my shit. I'm just like ahead when it comes to that. So if you ever see me in traffic, like I'm definitely like listening to like some fucking like Usher, like some throwback like Charlie Wilson on super loud. You know what I'm saying? And what's fucked up? Like I be thinking niggas can't hear me. Niggas can hear me. You know what I'm saying? Just because I got the windows up don't mean they can't hear me. They can hear me.
I remember one day I was driving through Malibu and I was blasting Paramore, and this lady drove next to me and she was like, "What?" Like all you could hear is the music from behind the car. She drove next to me and was like, "What the hell is going on?" It was the funniest thing ever. And I was like, Mazen does this every day. It's hilarious.
Oh my God, I can't listen to the music for what? You know what I'm saying? I can't listen. And what I hate is when somebody's in the car with me after my shit and they try to turn my shit down.
Like, yo, you can turn it down.
I'm like, yo. Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my fiance gets pissed because I blast my music when I'm driving. That's why music is mixed and mastered, so you can listen to it as loud as possible, or else you just listen to it janky, mad low.
Bro, you gotta feel it. you gotta feel it. You can't feel that shit if it's mad low. Like you listen to like music you play low, it's like jazz. You know what I'm saying? Like that you don't necessarily hear a gap in like frequencies. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. You know. Well, I'm not trying to knock jazz. You can listen to jazz whenever you like, but I like to listen to jazz low. You know
Well,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? But like, you
You a
know,
Kenny G guy?
huh?
You a Kenny G guy?
KDG?
No, Kenny G. Kenny G?
Oh, Kenny G. I mean, he's a legend. You know, you can't knock Kenny G.
Hell yeah.
But I'm definitely like a Miles Davis guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Miles Davis, that whole era.
Brass guy. So what's the music industry like now? Because I know with COVID, all the other creatives I spoke to, it's kind of everything's like not like last minute, but it's like prepare and then whatever comes next, you just got to be able to go.
Yeah, man, it's like a twofold. To be honest with you, I mean, there's obviously a lot of negative things that that affect an artist's career right now. So touring is obviously canceled. Just being able to network with different people and engage with people, as things were last year. I mean, that's been completely eliminated. But I want to say, like on the flip side of things, I definitely have a lot more time on my hands. I know about a lot of other artists do as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think just given the fact that I kind of get to lock in a little bit more, and I have just some more freedom on that side to kind of hone in and focus on my craft. I mean, I guess that's the only way it's better for us. You know what I'm saying? And I think artists are starting to find new creative ways to engage with their fans. That's essentially going to make it like easier and a lot more cost effective in the future. You know what I'm saying? So
hell yeah.
It's ups and downs to everything. You know what I'm saying? So we just trying to focus on the positive and get things going. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I can't wait till things open back up again. It's been long overdue. I didn't think this shit was gonna last this long.
You're not into the virtual concerts or nothing like that?
No, I am actually. I think any way that can connect an artist to their fans, like immediately like that, would be great. I just think these platforms have a huge responsibility to kind of create that emotional engagement. You know what I'm saying? That you can really and truly only get when you're live. Like seeing someone and feeling their energy is a lot different than looking at them through a screen. But I think a lot of I've been having conversations with a lot of these different applications and live streaming platforms, and they've been talking about how they're trying to get better at doing that. So definitely look forward to that. I'm with it. I'm with it as long as it works, it works.
Gotcha. So you said you had a lot of time in your hand. I know you dropped your project Odyssey. Was it last year or year before last?
Yeah.
So you dropped what else?
Yeah. It was 2019.
Yeah, you dropped Nikes, and then what was the other track that you dropped this past year? Was it COVID Freestyle?
Yeah, well, yeah, we so far I think we're about 4 records in for 2020. We started off with 2002. Was the first joint, and then we did COVID-19 Freestyle, and then we did Fantasy.
Fantasy, that's what it was.
We just did Nikes
for the ladies, and then got the turn up song.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What was the inspiration? What was the inspiration for Nikes? That video was crazy.
Man, thank you, bro. Honestly, I linked up with my dog Joe Craze, which a lot of y'all know already. Super producer and also just a really great friend of mine. And I remember at that time, we was both in New York actually. And it had really been a while since me and him linked up and worked on anything. I think I was really locked in on Odyssey at the time, that I wasn't trying to work on any new music, So it had been like months me and him having worked, and that's just not us. You know what I'm saying? So I remember I just pulled up to his crib one day, and he had that beat looping, and the first thing that came to my head was put me in the booth, coach. We were just having fun with it. Anybody that knows my recording process, like I don't really write. I just kind of punch in and go. You know what I'm saying? So it was fun because, Joe's an artist too. So as I'm recording, he'll kind of give me his 2 cents on delivery and certain cadences, and that's just kind of how it came about. You know what I'm saying? We honestly cooked the record in like 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Just because we was having fun all the way. You know what I'm saying? And when it was done, we played that shit like 100 times and just ran around this house going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's definitely a vibe, and that's really all I can say about the record. It's just a vibe, man. It's a fun record.
Who directed the visual?
My boy Mitch Parks.
Beautiful.
Legend.
That was dope. Especially
legend, professional.
Y'all had the DeLorean in there. That show was crazy.
What people don't know is like I'm a super fan of old cars. You feel me? So,
okay.
I keep it all the way real. Yeah, I keep it all the way real. And that was good.
No, I was saying that's dope. I didn't even know you had that tat. Crazy.
Yeah. We had to just do something different. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every music video has the standard sports car. Whether it be the Lambo or the big body joints. We just had to do something different. I think every video I just try to encourage just a different aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And for those like who haven't, just go through my old videos. You'll see I got some crazy in it. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. What's your favorite artist you've worked with thus far? If you could share.
Favorite artist that I've worked with?
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough question, and that's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. I'm not gonna lie, but on the real, I think everyone that I've worked with, everyone has something special about them, and it's always a different vibe, right? So, like for example, like I said, Joe is always gonna be, like my dog, right? It's one of my go-to artist, producer friends, and like I said, with him and I, come together, he understands where I'm coming from an artist perspective because he's a writer too. You know what I'm saying? So. He can assist with certain things that most producers that just produce can't necessarily assist with. You know what I'm saying? But
gotcha.
Shout out to my boy Joe. Shout out to my dog Vico. Also super talented producer. It's just kind of always down for the cause. We'll pull up at any given moment as long as it's about getting creative. He also got a really unique sound to him. Shout out to my boy Falcon. Niggas insane with the beats. Like I seen him cook up the craziest shit in like a few minutes, and it's really just like it's mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I would definitely just say those to start. You know what I'm saying? But there's a long list, man. I mean, there's so many talented people, and like I said, everybody brings something different to the table. So there's really no right answer.
Feel you. So I know by the time this comes out, your new song will be out. What went into making that track?
Yeah. Yeah. What was the question?
I said, what went into making this new track?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Honestly, I was just looking at like the reception that I had for Nikes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need another joint that kind of got that same energy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a completely different song, right? But I think it kind of falls in the same umbrella in terms of just like, the feeling that it gives you. It gave me the same feeling that I got when I heard Nike, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like that was necessary. And again, man, it was one of those situations where my boy Yardley from New York, also crazy talented producer. He got a super dope sound in him. He did the COVID-19 freestyle. He sends me like, I'm not even lying, bro, like 3-4 beats a day. I'm not even joking. That's how hard this nigga works. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, anybody that knows me, like, I don't necessarily ever go into the booth with like a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't never do that because I feel like you just kind of, you box in your creativity. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he sent me that joint. I was just at my crib chilling. It was like 11 at night. I'm going through like text messages between me and him. I click on the first beat that came up and I caught the hook right there. And I was like, nah, I got to record it. You know what I'm saying? So I did it by myself. And then and that was it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a banger. I don't think anybody could deny that. And, I really understood how big the record was when I played it for a couple people in the whip. We were just cruising around. just in the whip, top down. I played that shit. Niggas was losing it. Asked me to run it back like 12 times. So yeah.
Where'd you guys shoot the visual at? Was that in LA? Or was that in New York?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. We was all over, man. We was in South Central, we was in East LA. Uh yeah, we was in all different types of areas.
With the Ferrari?
Yeah, with the Ferrari, man, with the Ferrari. Yeah, man, you know, we had to come correct when it came to some of these neighborhoods, but we got it done, man. It was definitely a long day, but you know, anything that's great is always going to be a little challenging, and you know, it's not going to be easy. So shout out to everybody that helped put that together, man. Shout out to Mitch Parks, director. You know, I look forward to continuing to work with him. Shout out to everybody that just pulled up, you know, and just vibed out with us. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a tough time for everybody to kind of come together and, you know, lead a house. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody for doing so. You know what I'm saying? And we did have you know um, COVID testing and all that shit on site. So you know, if anybody sees the video, just know, you know, we're doing our part to see. They say
Keep it clean. Keep it clean. I like that though, because I see a lot of visuals now. It's like the same repetitive, like, oh, I got a bottle of lean, I got bottles of liquor. Like, I'm just gonna like do the same angle, same shot, color code it, put the lyrics, make it flashy, grainy, put it out. But you're one of the artists that like actually goes in on their visuals. Like, no, we need to get this angle. We need to incorporate photography within the shot, make the
yeah,
stills. Like, I like to see that as a consumer, not as your
yeah,
friend.
definitely, man. You know off rip us, you know, working together and just like my creative input. Yeah, I definitely like to, you know, push the envelope and you know, I think it could get a bit frustrating when I'm working with some people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, yo, this nigga's just breathing down my neck. But you know, I care that much about what it is that I'm putting out. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's an essential part, man. And I encourage every artist, you know, to kind of learn about the process behind everything. You know what I'm saying? So you can have that much more control of your shit. You feel me?
Oh yeah. So we got this segment on the show called "Smile Moment." What's something in 2020 that made you smile?
Yeah, 2020 made me smile. Shit, Biden winning the election.
Okay, you took it there. All right. Well, you,
um,
was that's
yeah, bro.
interesting. But we we can get into that if you want to get into that. But
Hey, look, get into. It's just I think. Look, you know, I'm not gonna try to get into a deep political conversation, but what I will say is, you know, I think, you know, change was definitely needed. You know what I'm
hell
saying?
yeah,
I think the
hell yeah.
country's in a bad place, and you know, I'm not, you know, I'm not, I'm not saying that. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think, you know, it put a smile on my face because of the fact that there's still hope. You know what I'm saying? There's still however many people, I think it's 77 million people that voted for the man,
Hmm.
that still believe in, you know, progressive future, that don't believe in, you know, keeping us divided and torn. You know what I'm saying? So that made me smile. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of times, if you look back at the past 4 years, we've been disappointed in America, and that's just one. That's one thing that happened that didn't make me disappointed. It actually made me feel proud. You know what I'm saying? So
Hell yeah. I remember when we were asleep and my neighbor texted me like, "Yo, what's that noise?" I'm like, "I don't know." So I like look out the window and there's people like driving, going crazy. So I go down to I got this
man,
little I got this little bodega on my crib, and the guy's handing out free bottles of champagne. Like, here, here. I'm like, oh, thank you. It was that was a lit
man,
day. It was crazy over here.
that's what's up. Man.
What was it like over
Yeah,
near
yeah,
you?
man. Yeah, no, it felt great. It was. I mean, it was cool. I think where I stay is like a bit quieter. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But you know, we was definitely. I was celebrating in the crib, man. I think I was. You know, I think the official announcement came out on a Saturday, and I was just drunk the whole day. You know what I'm saying? So it was lit. It was
Hell
definitely
yeah.
lit, man.
So before we get out of here, what's something you're looking forward to in 2021?
looking forward to this vaccine. I mean, hopefully it checks off all the boxes and it's safe, and people feel safe taking it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just kind of reactivating normal life. You know what I'm saying? I look forward to giving my friends daps and hugs without necessarily having to second guess if I'm putting them in harm. You know what I'm saying? It's so weird to me, dog. Like, huh?
It's like
yeah, exactly. Like, or the elbow. Look, if a nigga trying to if a nigga trying to like a nigga like fuck with you if he hit you with the pound. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some type of contact there. If a nigga don't fuck with you at all and hit you with the elbow, oh no, that's yeah. If a nigga hit you with the elbow, that's just like I don't know what you're at, my brother. But yeah. I mean, I look forward. I look forward to that, man. I look forward to just continuing to drop new music, man. I think 2021 is going to be a much bigger year for me than 2020. I got so many just great records just in the stash. I just can't wait to share everything with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, if people like Nikes and what I've done 2020, it's only going to get better and bigger. So, definitely look forward to that.
All right, brother. So we got these things last before we get everybody. Once I get people in the groove and then loosen up, then I hit them with the funnies before we leave. You ready? It's just 5 questions.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Come on. All right. Chick-fil-A fries or McDonald's fries?
McDonald's.
Oh, bro, what is going on? For the ladies, is Mazen a dog or a cat guy?
Dog.
Dogs. All right, cool. This is gonna tell me a lot about you. Next one. Dipset or G Unit? Yeah.
That you trying to start an argument right now? Like,
hey man,
that's a long debate. All right, look, I'm gonna answer it this way. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about like? Now I'm gonna have to go Dipset. I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, Dipset. I was making sure because I know you lived in New York for a little bit, and I know you know what BB Simons are. I know you know what those are.
Yeah.
But 50 Cent did have me wearing a do-rag and sagging my jeans, and I got little legs when I was in high school and college.
I think. Listen, I think they both had crazy cultural impact. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
like,
yeah.
You can't deny that. You know what I'm saying? But when I look about like who gave me like I don't know, man. I think Dipset definitely impacted the culture a lot more than G Unit did. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
In my opinion. But I got love for both.
I got you. And then Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Why is I don't know. For me, looking at pictures, it gets a little boring sometimes. But if someone got a fire caption, and I'm like, I feel a little bit more engaged. I feel like Twitter, you could sit on Twitter for hours.
It's so crazy. I feel the opposite, man.
Really?
I feel the opposite. If yeah, go check out my Twitter, bro. I barely tweet, and I barely and I know I need to do a better job. A lot of people told me like, "Yo, you should tweet more." Blah, blah, blah. I need to do a better job with that. I just don't care for people's opinions that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm more impressed by the visuals that people give me. Like, whether you're a dope photographer or whatever, like that to me is just like it's cool. Like, and I feel like Instagram is just like an easy place of discovery, not in terms of like news, but in terms of like culture. Like, and that's just kind of what I'm into. Like, I'm up on the gram just trying to see like what are like the newest sneakers that dropped or like some cool collabs that's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just on there and I'm just like, oh shit, I could see it firsthand. Whereas in Twitter, like I think I would read about those things, like, oh, Dior and Jordan are collabing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. But Instagram, I get to see what it looks like.
I feel you. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Appreciate the support. Be sure to follow Mazen on Instagram and Twitter. Listen to his project, Odyssey. Listen to Nike's Run That Up. And the new song, tell the folks about the new song. Where can they find it?
Yes, sir. Great drop out everywhere now. Check out the video. Check out the single. We're going crazy with it. 2021, man. This the year we're going for it.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you for joining, everyone. Have a blessed day.